Hello my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with our latest deck tech and gameplay for you to enjoy. But before we get into that, if you are a fan of this content and anything that I have on my channel, you know what to do. Please make sure to give a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so you can enjoy everything from those booster pack openings to deck techs, gameplay, and so much more. And for today's deck, we're going to be covering on a budget Obscura Spellslinger. And how much of a budget are we on? How does it sound? Only 3 mythics and 8 rares total in the deck. Again, if you want to put this together in paper, I will put together, as you can see on the screen right now, there it is. There shows you that, unfortunately, unlike the other decks we did, this one is not going to be budget on paper, but it is on Arena. Oh man, I could just say right now, Ledger Shredder, just wow, that card just exploded in value. So if you have a couple of copies of that, good for you. But in any case, if you haven't seen me do this before, normally on my older videos, I usually will cover the whole in-depth deck tech and then just do a basic match against Sparky to give you a very simple idea of how the deck is going to be played. However, due to some of you out there giving me some feedback, it sounds like you want to see me just go on and take on real opponents and actually do the real deal. So we're going to do that, and then instead of the normal super lengthy deck tech, I'm just going to cut right to the chase. And beginning with our creatures in the deck that are trying to make this whole thing go off: Ledger Shredder, we have Indulging Patrician, Raffine, Scheming Seer, and Quasar Augur of Agonies. So on the top end of the curve, what we want to do is we want to get out our Cephalid Advisor here, which is a 3/4 creature, and whenever you draw a card, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So if you haven't already seen, the whole basic premise of the deck is get out the Augur and then just start drawing cards like non-stop. However, we want to, of course, do more than just do drawing cards. We want to make sure that we can support the game plan, because this is definitely not going to be enough. It doesn't have a way of protecting itself, and it doesn't have any evasion. So we need something else to support that. And what we have instead is we have copies of Raffine, Scheming Seer, and Indulging Patrician, and again, the Ledger Shredder. Specifically, let's cover the Shredder and Raffine, because they have the Connive ability. Connive, if you don't remember, is going to see on the screen right now, it shows whenever a creature connives, you draw a card, then discard a card. And if you've discarded a non-land card, you put a 1/1 counter on that creature. So with Ledger Shredder going off every time we cast our second spell, or our opponent casts their second spell on any turn, we can then connive with the Shredder, allowing us to draw, which would trigger off the Augur. And same thing with Raffine. Whenever we attack, it can connive for X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. So even if just Raffine attacks, or even any one of our other creatures attacks, we can connive once, sometimes twice, in one attack, which can then beef up our creatures. The advantage, of course, of Raffine is we can then add those counters to either our Quasar or the Indulging Patrician. This is actually the target we want to put Raffine's counters onto. Indulging Patrician here is a really cute little card that allows us to drain our opponent for 3 anytime we gain in our turn 3 or more life. It also has flying and lifelink, so it's a decent blocker and has some good stats. However, it needs support. So this is again how the basic idea of the game plan is. Once we get out the Augur of Agonies, we just start drawing cards. If we have Ledger Shredder out, even better, because then we can cast 2 cards, which would allow it to draw, which would trigger off the Augur. If we have Indulging Patrician, if we have enough of our life gain in 1 turn, just at least 3, that's the magic number, then we can just ping off. Otherwise, our backup plan is just put Raffine out, start attacking with that and the Patrician, so that way you can start adding triggers onto the Patrician, i.e. counters from Raffine, and just start boosting our attack power completely there. However, we do want to make sure that we are protecting ourselves, so we will have copies of Spell Pierce, Slip Out the Back, you see the Guard Approach as ways of protecting the combo. Other ways of getting rid of our opponent's creatures, we have Fatal Pushes, and of course our basic card draw comes in the form of Considerers, Ops, and Faithful Mending. Our other card that we're going to be utilizing is going to be Obscura Charm, which honestly I'm just using this because it is on flavor for the deck, and it actually does some pretty sweet things. It can bring back our creature with 3 or less mana value, so sorry you can't use it on the Augur, but you can use it on Raffine and Indulging Patrician because they are multicolored. You can also counter an instant or sorcery spell, or otherwise you can destroy a creature or planeswalker with a mana value of 3 or less. So again, 3 is the magic number in this deck. If you're looking at your land base, again, we are on a budget, so it's going to be a lot of tap lands, but they do gain us a little bit of life. If we do it properly, you can also get the Patrician to still trigger off even with the life lands. We have some Obscura Storefront, again, it's for flavor, and also just helps us fix our mana that when we need it. And of course, with one of our extra rares, we will use it for Raffine's Tower. Otherwise, in the mid or late game, you can cycle it away. As far as your sideboard real quick, you have copies of Authority of the Console to slow down those aggro decks, a copy of Settle the Wreckage to also add on to deal with those aggro decks. If you are trying to get rid of specific colored enemy stuff, for red and black, you have Devout Decree. For green and white, you can get rid of it using Noxious Grasp. And for blue or control decks, you have Mystical Dispute. So in other words, from each of these sets, you basically cover all your colors out there. If you're dealing with the control decks out there, you have Campbell, Console of Allocations. For Graveyard Hate, we are going to be using Haya Orzhov Usurper. And also to shut down our enemies that are also trying to draw cards against us, a couple copies of Narset, Part of the Veils, and a little bit of extra counter spells with Dovin's Veto. But otherwise, that is basically it for the deck. Let's go ahead and have a couple of matches to show you how the deck is meant to be played. Alright everybody, so here we go. We're going to be playing our Obscura Spellslinger deck, and we're going to hopefully get there. We're going to show you to see how this deck is meant to be played. Okay, so the good news is, we have what we need. We have a Ledger Shredder, we have an Obscura Charm, we have some protection, and a little bit of card draw. Alright, we're going to keep this. Our Obscura Storefront can get us exactly the land we need. We just need a white source, and we have everything. So hopefully, this all goes according to plan. Hopefully. Opponent? Okay, our opponent's finally there. Okay, Obscura Storefront. Okay, here we go. We can finally do this. Okay, so let's get our planes. Get a little life. Opponent, your go. Alright, they have the Fable Passage, which is fine. Island. Ledger Shredder. They will sack their Fable Passage. What kind of land are they going to get? Let me guess. Green source? I'm guessing green source. Oh, no, it's a mountain. Okay. Hopefully they don't have immediate removal, because that'll make me very sad. And they do. Oh, my goodness. Strangle actually is now pretty... Let's see. Oh, it's probably a Fires deck. I don't want to deal with a Fires deck. That's not fun. That's not fun at all. Oy, oy, oy. It's always a Fable to the Mirror Breaker. Alright, well, that's Faithful Mending. Nothing here we need. Slip out the back. We'll throw it. Well, actually, we'll keep that. We'll toss away the Faithful Mending and the Consider. It's always this card. So annoying. Alright, well, it's up to you. Can our Cephalid help us draw and drain our opponent? We're going to find this out right now. Honestly, like, if you're playing non-ranked, I'm honestly surprised why they have people that try to play tier decks in non-ranked. It just, I don't know. It just seems a little weird to me. You'd think you'd be playing in ranked, though, for this kind of stuff. But, again, that's just me. Opponent, clock is ticking. Come on. I honestly don't have all night. I'm literally, if you hear me recording this right now, this is me recording it at like 4 in the morning. I've been up all night just trying to get a decent recording for this deck. It's a little tiring. Opponent's still thinking. Opponent, are you there? Hello? Opponent, you're about to time out. This is not going to be a very exciting match if they don't at least give us something to work with here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want a free win. I don't want to deal with these decks, honestly, but I don't want a free win. It just really doesn't do good for for us, really. Okay, opponent, triggers on the stack. Are you there? Opponent. Okay, get some backwater. Need some life. I have no idea what our opponent's doing. That's fine. We will still go swinging. Do they have removal? Do they have anything? Opponent. Come on, opponent. You're running out of timeouts, opponent. I don't know. Maybe they left the stove on. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get their food from Uber. Who knows? Well, anyway, while we're waiting, as a friendly reminder, everybody, if you haven't already done so, just make sure to give a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are a fan of gameplay, commentary like mine, or just anything that you see on the channel. Maybe you enjoy me opening booster packs. Either way, I would enjoy it if you just showed me a little support from there. Okay, our opponent right now just let us do some free damage. I'm going to do Faithful Mending, maybe, if our opponent is there. They're going to concede this match at this point if they're not there, which doesn't really make for an exciting gameplay. And alright, we just get our free draw. We'll throw away the Stormfront, and we'll throw away, what do we throw away? I guess the Consider? We want to try to keep the protection just in case. There's some triggers, so at least you can kind of see what the deck is trying to do. Okay. Hopefully this gives you a little idea of what we're trying to pull off here. Our See the Guard Approach can protect us, assuming our opponent actually does something. I honestly think we're at this point, as I'm recording this, you guys are just going to see a free win out of this, which is not exciting, but hopefully at least you get the basic idea from just these handful of things we're doing. We're going to try to see if maybe we can try to get another match in
And hopefully that won't be too long, and we can just show you more or less how this deck is meant to be played. Okay, opponent. Well, I think our opponent has just completely checked out. At this point, we're just going to get a free win off of this, which, again, is not what I want to show in a video, but I'm going to keep this in the video as you've already kind of noticed it's in here, only just because, again, I'm just trying to still show you the basics of what this deck is trying to do. So you can see, again, ideally, once you get your Augur of Agonies out, you just start pinging your opponent with the card draw that we get, protect it with what we have, and that mostly would just be it. And opponent just checked out. They're just not there. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Let's go ahead and actually try this again. Okay, everybody, so here we go. So we're going to be playing, again, our Spellslinger deck in Ranked. All right, so let's see what we got here. Well, okay, we only have one land, and it's a tap land. We otherwise have a lot of action if we can get to it. We have 2 Fatal Pushes, so it's not like the tap land does absolutely nothing. We have a Spell Pierce too. I'm going to take a risk. We're going to keep this. Let's see what happens. Alright, so here we go. Dismal Backwater. Gain life. That's a turn. Alright, so let's see. What our opponent's going to play? They got a Jingotha, so does that mean they're going to be playing... Okay. Water Grave. Interesting. Alright, Storefront. So we can slowly get there. Let's get a Plains. So we now have most of our mana fixed, what we need. It's Spell Pierce if they bring in something goofy right now. Auto Erasure. Well, we're going to have to Spell Pierce that. Keep our game plan alive. Alright, Raffine's nice. Let's get that Ledger Shredder out now. Okay, so game plan right now. We got to try to get that 3rd land drop and we can start doing some stuff. Agonizing Remorse. Alright, that's fine. Ledger Shredder at least lives to see another day. What do they get rid of? Patrician, Fatal Push. Looking at one or the other. Maybe? Okay, Raffine goes bye-bye. Unfortunate, but that's okay. It's an acceptable loss. Alright, Waterfront District. Tapped. Tap lands, again, on a budget are annoying, but, again, until you can get to a chance to upgrade your lands, by all means do so as soon as you can. But otherwise, we're going to work with it. We're going to show you that it's still possible to get wins with this. It's going to be a little janky getting there, but we can get there. Alright, Graveyard Trespasser. Alright, the Night and Day mechanic is now in play. They take away the Spell Pierce. Annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Alright, so let's see. How do we do this? Let's get in the Patrician now. The only reason is if they get rid of either one of these, we can then Fatal Push the Trespasser out in case we absolutely have to. And it looks like they just might do it. Right now, our World Kill. Opponent. Give me an option here. Agonizing Remorse. So, Ledger Shredder kicks in. Let's see. I guess we just get rid of the... What do they get rid of? Probably the other Ledger Shredder, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe? Yes. I figured. Triggers off. We have to discard the other Fatal Push. Get rid of it. Alright. Alright, so we're in an okay spot right now, but we gotta close out this game quick. We're gonna keep the Storefront for a bit, because this is assuming they might try to... Okay. Atris? I haven't seen this card in a while. Okay, so what do we give them? Let's give them 2 lands. Alright, let's do it this way. So they do the pick. Do they pick the lands? Yeah, they do. And Croxa goes down to there. Okay, so actually I think they're... Okay, so it's a Grixis deck. It's always Grixis decks I always have to deal with. So annoying. Patrician. We go attacking. Down to 12. Okay, well... Let's see if we can find a way to get there. They don't have enough to bring back Croaxa yet. Expressive Iteration. Opponent. Still thinking. Alright, here we go. Taking further cards. that Nico Bolas is going to be very annoying to deal with soon if we don't get rid of it. We got rid of, unfortunately, the rest of our fatal pushes, which is unfortunate. Opponent. Body Erasure. Alright, that triggers off. It's going to have to be a Consider. At least this way they can't really throw away our storefront. We would have lost the Consider regardless. But at least that pumps up the Ledger Shredder. Another Raffine here actually would be really nice to have. Already lost one. Alright, they throw away the Culligan's Command. They go attack. Down to 19. Okay, the Fatal Push actually is not bad here. Okay, so we have a way to victory. They're down to 8. We go up to 20. Sulfur Falls. Do they bring in Croaxa? If they do, we can Fatal Push it out, which is actually helpful for us. They do. Alright. Fatal Push it now. Get out of the way. Gone. Trigger's still in the stack, unfortunately. That's okay. We're still in an okay spot. They're bringing Jingatha. They go attacking. We're down to 14. You see the guard approach is not bad either. We're down to 4. We're at 15. You see the guard approaches could be helpful here. We just got to protect what we have. They go swinging. We, of course, take the damage. We go down to 12. All right. And then what do they do? Second Atris. Interesting. Well, do they get the Heartless Act? Or do they get the 2 Graveyard Trespassers? They're looking at our graveyard, too. We do have 2 creatures, unfortunately, so that does mean that they might want the Graveyard Trespasser. Or do they get the removal? Okay. So they got both of those, which is unfortunate. That does trigger off our Ledger Shredder, though, which is nice. Do they have a Fatal Push? Well, actually... we'll throw away the... Okay. Oh, never mind. They gave up. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking way too hard on that one. Okay, so let's see. How do we do this? How do we get out of this? Okay, we need Kaya. Devout Decree takes care of the black and red cards. They do have some blues, so we'll get some Mystical Disputes for counter spells. Let's see, Campbell. Is this his match? I really want the Augur of Agony's win, but we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna get there with this. We need to drop 3 more cards. Maybe 1 Charm. I guess trim 1 Consider and 1 Opt. We'll try it like that. Okay. 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 We can do this. All right. Here we go. Our opponent is finally ready. Infernoman. This person's only bronze and you're gold. I know there's one of you out there that's probably going to say that right now. So you know what? I'm just going to say right now. Again, the ranks don't really mean jack diddly to me. Honestly, no, I don't care. I'm just doing this just to show you how the deck is meant to be played. But anyways, enough of that. Okay. So we have 3 drops, which are all solid, but it's going to be a little while before we get to them. I'm pretty sure they're going to have some kind of discard, but we'll still keep this regardless. We have to find a way. Okay, they are mulliganing, which is good for us. Okay, looks like they're ready. Maybe. Okay, Demon's tapped. Let's scour Barons. I think what we want to do is we're going to try to keep the storefront and hopefully the Fatal Push so we can just get something out of the way if we really need to in a pinch. Another tap land there. All right. Expressive Iteration. Okay, so I think maybe Campbell probably should come out first. Raffine, on the other hand, has Ward, which can be very annoying for our opponent to deal with, and they may not want to pay that. I don't know. We do have options of the 3-drop slot, which is nice. Okay, Haunted Ridge. So this does mean that they may have something, but it can't be a Fatal Push. Let's bring out Campbell. So even if they try to get rid of it, we can still ping. Grave Enfeeblement. Interesting. Alright. Well, we did get at least 1 trigger off. I didn't think actually anybody played that. That's really annoying. So our creatures do have white. Alright, Thought Erasure unfortunately gets rid of something. I kind of now wish we brought in Rafine instead. We knew they had that. That actually would have given us a little bit of protection to work with. Alright, well, Rafine goes bye-bye, unfortunately. A Charm would actually be nice to also to have right here. Alexa. Alright, we're going to throw away a land. Going out of 21. But they're running out of action here, which is nice for us. Island. Alright. Okay, opponent. You got 3 cards in hand. I also have 3 cards. You know 2 of them. You don't know I have a second Indulgent Patrician. So what do we do? What is our opponent going to try and do? Oh, they're looking at... Alright, Power Word Kill. Annoying, but... Okay, well... It is what it is. Your storefront. Let's do the insta-sack. Let's get Swamp. Gain some life. Alright, opponent. They still need a couple more cards in the graveyard before they can bring back Proaxa. Tris. Let's see if they take the Nico Bolas. No, they don't. We do have another Fatal Push, which is nice. Pass. Okay. This is going to be really slow moving here, but we need to hopefully close out this game. Proaxa, here it comes. Triggering off. Fatal Push it. We throw away our storefront. We take a little bit of damage, which is fine. We're still at 20. Now I'm 17. Tranquil Cove doesn't really help. We'll keep it just in case. Okay, expressive. Okay, another land down. Opponent. Proaxa again. Toss away the Tranquil Cove. Take 3 more damage. Escapes. Dies. They go attacking. We're down to 12. We really could use... Oh, jeez. Oh, we're getting nothing but lands. Okay. We are not doing too well right now, unfortunately. We don't have any major creatures right now that are going to help get through. Okay. Well, go Bolas. Go away the plains. Opponent. They go swinging. 10 to 10. We're going to have to block now. This is really awkward. Opt. Faithful Mending. Draw 2. We have to discard 2 cards. We'll drop the Fatal Pushes. They don't do too much here for us. Pass. We're going to have to go into full control real quick. Okay, does our opponent... They could flip Nico Bolas, which is frustrating. We'll tap it down. At the very least, this buys us a little bit of time. Opponent goes swinging. We're out of cards. You know, for a deck that's trying to help us draw cards, we're not doing too well here. They flip Nico Bolas. Now it's the full version. What will we do? Draws 2 cards. All right. We're not doing too well right now. And our deck continues to betray us. Ay, ay, ay. Discard 2. Opt. Well, there's our Ledger Shredder, finally. It might be too little too late at this point. Yeah. Down to 11. Okay, well, I don't know how we're going to pull this off now. That Nico Bolas is not good. Oh, they have a second one. Okay. Okay, we're down to 9. It might be almost time for us to just concede this. They have so many lands versus us. And we just keep drawing into, like, nothing. Oh, Graveyard Trespasser. I don't like this card. I've dealt with this so much in recent matches in Explorer. Down to 8. I think we're done here. Ugh. You see the card approach. Does that save us? Maybe for 1 turn, but I think we're going to concede. Maybe a little premature, but we don't really have any other options to get through this. So, how do we get out of this? I really want this Augur of Agonies to go off, but we can't because we just keep... Everything keeps getting blown up on our side. Maybe we'll bring in the Slip out the back. We'll probably drop it Opt. Considering the circumstances we're in, we're going to try to do it like this. Okay, let's try one more time here. Okay, all or nothing now, everybody. We don't have the lands to cast these cards. Oh my god. Do we mulligan? If we mulligan, I'm worried we're just going to get nothing. Someone's going to yell at me in the comments. I'm going to keep this. But I accept that fate. If we just get one black source, and at least the next turn or two, then we're in business. Just get janked out. Come on. Okay, Haunted Ridge. That's fine. Well, at least we can play a Dovin's Veto. We really have to. Alright, Raffine's Tower. We're still one turn behind where we want to be, but that's okay. At the very least, we can actually play stuff now. Which is fine. Okay. Raffine. It has Ward 1. So, our opponent's got to do something. Do they pay? They do, of course. We'll consider. Okay, Obscura Charm's actually pretty nice. We can bring back now our Raffine. Thought Erasure. That's annoying. There's Kaya. They throw away a land. I mean, they already have what they need in hand. What do we want to bring back? Okay, Plains. I'm going to keep the Obscura Charm. Steam Vents. Because this match is going on way longer than I thought it was going to take. Dovin's Veto that. Alright. We're not done yet. Obscura Charm. We're going to bring back... What do we want? Bring back Raffine. Okay. Alright, now's our chance to go off. Ledger Shredder. Indulging Patrician. Don't tell me you have more removal, opponent. Please. Let me have some fun. Okay. That doesn't really trigger off anything, unfortunately. Patrician stays in the field. Do we go swinging? No. Our opponent probably has something. They keep looking at their feet. Oh, no. We get to do stuff. Okay. That's nice. We had to throw away a charm, which is sad. But we're kind of getting there. Okay, Sulphur Falls. Opponent's got a lot of lands, but they're not doing too much in terms of action. They're looking at Ledger Shredder. Legion's End. Ouch. That stinks. Opponent still has a little bit more action than they probably got. Graveyard Trespasser. Okay, Exile. Such an annoying card to deal with. Storefront. I'm gonna go swinging. We will draw 2 and have to discard 2, unfortunately. I'll have to drop the Fatal Push, only for being able to pump right here. Storefront. Sack it. We're getting there. We're close. I really think we can pull it off this time. All right. Take them for the million. We're down. We're up. We might get there. Croaxa. We lose 3. Not a big deal for us. We're not down yet. Oh, Power Word Kill. I'm surprised people are using this card. It's kind of annoying. Okay. And they will eat up some cards. We go down to 15. Okay. Well, we got a Fatal Push. Connive. Throw away a Dovin's Veto. Now it's 3-6. Alright, we're getting close. We might be able to pull this off. Aww, Nico Bolas. And we can't even Fatal Push. Ouch, this stinks. Well, okay. We're getting close. We can kind of win. Almost. On 11. Alright. We just gotta keep swinging at this point. Okay, what do we drop? Do we drop the Indulging Patrician or the Mystical Dispute? Okay, we'll throw away the Mystical Dispute. Okay, so we have a 4-7 at this point. Down to 3. We're so close. We can taste victory. Oh my goodness. They swing with just the Glutton. Alright. No life gain there. I doubt they have anything in their hand that can stop us. Is this it? Do we get the win with our janky little game plan here? Alright, here we go. It's all or nothing now. Alright, we're going to put it on the Indulging Patrician so we can force through the damage. Draw 2. Discard 2. Triggers off. It's now a 3/6. They block. Opponents, don't you dare. Ward 1. Okay. Faithful Mending. Dang. Okay. We can get anything there. No hit. They pay. They gain 3 life. Ugh. It's okay. We still got there. Because we triggered off. And there you go, everybody. Despite our jankiest plan right there, we got the win. Wow, that took such a long... That's a long match. Wow. Well, if you're still hanging in there, everybody, thank you so much for that. You are my true fiery friends. And for those of you that did stick around, again, leave a comment below to show me that you are truly that faithful. And also for that, you get to check out the secret to upgrading this deck. So as you can see right here on screen right now, here's the upgrades that you would consider. The majority of the deck can pretty much stay the same. You're just going to want to swap out some cards to just focus on the connive effect to ensure that our Augur of Agonies actually can trigger off a lot easier, and also to take advantage of the fact that many of our discarded cards might actually be helpful later on. So we're going to take out the Indulging Patrician. Instead, we're going to put in Toulouse Clever Conductor. As she enters the battlefield, it connives, and then when you discard 1 or more cards, you exile them into your graveyard. When the conductor dies, you put the cards that are exiled into your hand. So with cards such as Faithful Mending or Consider, this means that they can be tucked away as long as the Clever Conductor is out, and then we can then pull those back in later on in case this creature dies. Not too shabby. It helps us out to ensure that we can still get a handful of cards when we need them if our creature does die. Otherwise, not much else is really going to change for the main part of the deck. Of course, as always, upgrade your land base first and foremost. You're going to want to obviously get a full set of Fatal Passages. This makes Fatal Push easier to trigger. You don't really need to add in a whole set of Raffine's Tower if you don't want to, but at least 1 extra copy wouldn't hurt. And then the majority of the deck for the lands, you're just going to want to add in some shock lands, any hodgepodge combination of them, but I would specifically say prioritize those and pathway lands. Those are going to be the most helpful for you. As far as your sideboard upgrades are concerned, we can now squeeze in some Soul Guide Lanterns since we're going to move the Dovin's Vetoes to the main deck. We will keep otherwise pretty much everything else, but we're going to remove some of our spot removal that we had that was more color specific and get something a little bit more rounded and consistent. Void Rend. Void Rend is fantastic because it also cannot be countered, and we can otherwise destroy any non-land permanent on the battlefield. This, along with Dovin's Veto, just at least gives us a more guaranteed game plan of protecting what we need, or at least getting rid of stuff without having to worry about it getting countered against control decks. Otherwise, you mostly can just keep everything else. There's not much else I can honestly say about this deck, except as you kind of saw from the match we just had, just that one match was a long grind. So this deck is capable of doing a little bit of grinding if you just play your cards right, so to speak. But otherwise, that's pretty much all I have for you for this deck. I honestly think that this deck, it's not going to be the most competitive, but when it goes off with your cards, it can be a lot of fun, and it's hilarious to see how you can close out the game. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, everyone, and to be perfectly honest, this is the first video we've done where we actually done a deck tech breakdown along with gameplay and this wrap up and everything else in between. And to be honest, I actually feel a little exhausted doing all of this in one video. But if you're the kind of person that likes to see everything in one video, or if you're the person that would actually have everything broken up where we can go back to just one video for an in-depth deck tech and another video of just pure gameplay, but in the future we'll still add commentary. Regardless, let me know in the comments below and I'll love to hear from you. But aside from that, thanks again for watching, everyone, and just remember, no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later.